Alicia. I'm the co-owner of Bliss Books and Wine.
And I'm Sydney. I'm the tasting room manager at Wineworks.
We're coming together to talk about the perfect pairing, and what better dynamic duo than a perfect bottle of wine and a perfect book. And so that's what we're going to be discussing today. Bliss Books and Wine was basically founded on the same concept of the perfect pairing. So me and my co-owner, Lene Robinson, who's also my sister, wanted to build a community where someone can come and read, sit, and relax. And so we wanted to bridge introverted reading with social drinking. And that's just kind of how Bliss Books and Wine got founded. We've been in business since 2019. Unfortunately, we had to pivot temporarily, and everything is strictly online right now. But hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to open up our brick and mortar and have our own wine lounge and independent bookstore.
And Wineworks was opened in 2014. We are the Crossroads only full-scale production winery. So all of our products we make in the back 2/3 of our building, and we source 100% Missouri grown grapes. So we're as local gets. We also have kind of built our tasting room around making wine kind of available for everyone. So I feel like there's kind of a stigma usually around wine that it's, you know, a little bit pretentious, or you have to kind of know already before you come in. So we want to make it approachable and available to everyone. So we are super excited to be a part of this book pairing. I love wine and I love books. So
there you go. Same here. So there we go. All right. So we're going to talk about 6 books, 6 genres. We're going to go over horror. We're going to go over romance, comedy, urban fiction, urban fantasy, and suspense and mystery. And so we're going to pair each of those genres with a book and a wine here from Wineworks. So the first one will be horror. And so everybody knows that horror is meant to frighten you or to scare you. The first book we're going to talk about is Octavia E. Butler, Fledgling. And we're going to pair that with
The Norton Reserve.
Excellent. So this book is about a young girl that was found with some critical injuries, and she has amnesia. But in reality, she is a 53-year-old vampire girl who doesn't know where she came from and how she got to where she's going. And so this story is just kind of following her along, figuring out who she is and why she is where she is at the moment. Also, there are people that are trying to destroy her. They're trying to kill her. She has a genetically modified ability to where now she's a daylighter. And so that's why people are hunting her and trying to destroy her. So that's the premises of Fledgling book.
I love horror. It's definitely one of my favorite genres, and I also love our Norton Reserve. So this wine is 100% Norton grapes. It's barrel aged for 18 months. So it definitely has some of that like oaky, smoky vibe going on.
Mm-hmm.
I personally get a lot of chocolate on the aroma, so it still has a really nice smooth finish. But I wanted to pair this with horror because in my mind, if I'm reading a horror novel, it's cold outside, maybe it's raining, it's a dark, stormy night, I'm by the fireplace, or, you know, just kind of cozy with a blanket, and this is my fireplace wine. So I think the Norton Reserve is going to be a perfect pairing for the Fledgling.
That's great. I am not a horror fan, so I try to stay away from those. I don't need to be spooked or anything, but I do like fireplaces and cold weather and sipping on some great wine. I love the Norton Reserve. I've had it before. It's amazing. So this is a really, really good wine. So the next genre we're going to talk about is romance. And so this romance book is called The Party of Two by Jasmine Guillory.
And then we're pairing that with our sparkling Blanc de Blancs.
Blanc de Blancs. Just sounds fancy and romantic. All right, and so this romance novel is about a young woman moving into a fresh city. I do believe it's LA. And so she's moving there to start her new law firm. And so while she's there in the hotel, she meets this handsome guy, and they're just flirting all night at the hotel bar, right? And so she's in deep at this point. And then she realizes that he's a junior senator And she's like, oh no, I don't want politicians, I'm over it. But then he kind of woos her and just kind of charms her and wins her to keep going on dates. Well, they have to kind of keep it on the hush-hush, on the low. And so they just find little flirty ways to kind of sneak around and date and be all secretive. And then they have to come out in public. And so that's where all of the media and all that stuff just kind of starts roasting them. And so now they just have to figure out, is there this whirlwind love affair strong enough to withstand the spotlight?
So fun. So I decided to pair the sparkling block to blocks with this book because what better to celebrate love than some bubbles? I feel like for any special occasion, you know, anniversaries, marriage, anything that's revolving love, there's always champagne mentioned. So this is not technically a champagne because it is made in America, so it is a sparkling wine, and it's a brut. So it's gonna be a little bit on the dry side, but crisp, clean, super bubbly, like a classic champagne style sparkling. So it's gonna go really, really well when you get your romance on.
Yes, I agree. All right, so for the next genre, we're gonna talk about urban fiction. And so the book that we picked for urban fiction is called Grown by Tiffany Jackson.
And I paired our noir with this genre.
Yes. So with this book, it talks about a young girl. Her name is Enchanted. Love the name. She is an aspiring singer. And so she meets this legendary R&B artist on an audition, and he like takes her under his wing and just introduces her to the luxury life. You know, everything is luxurious. And then she finds a darker side to him. He becomes very controlling and violent and just has this rage to control her. And so the luxurious life is not so luxurious anymore. It becomes a nightmare. And then all of a sudden, he winds up dead. And so they're trying to figure out who did it, who murdered this legendary R&B, and all fingers were pointing to Miss Enchanted.
Wow.
So
With urban fiction, I selected noir because it's a dry red, so it does have, you know, kind of that like deep, dark, kind of adventurous thing going on, but the noir is really spicy. So it has that like black pepper, green pepper, some herbaceous qualities to it that I think, you know, really make it exciting.
Yeah.
So it gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit and it's kind of like a different grape varietal that a lot of people aren't super familiar with. So I thought, you know, with this urban fiction genre, this is gonna be just perfect.
yeah, that's great, because urban fiction also is more of a urban setting, more of an explicit, in your face, not holding any punches type of genre. And so with that seems like that would pair really well with that.
Absolutely.
Good. So for the next genre, we are in comedy. And so for comedy, we picked Trevor Noah, his book called Born a Crime.
And then I paired our Traminette with comedy.
Great. So this is just following Trevor Noah through his life as a restless young man, going through life, trying to figure out where he fits in a place where he should not exist. Because his mother was black and his father was white, and in that time in South Africa, that was illegal. So illegal up to 5 years in prison, illegal. And so he's trying to navigate through this life and through comic relief to show you how it was growing up in that time and how his mother was this fierce protector, and how one incident, I think she like pushed him out of a moving car because she thought the police was coming to get him, like to save his life and all of these things. And he's just really trying to navigate where his place is in this lifestyle. And so it's, you know, Trevor, he's very comical and funny, so he's gonna have some serious things mixed in with some comic relief.
So with Traminette, this is one of our semi-sweet white wines. So I really wanted to pair this with comedy because it's sweet, it makes you smile. It's also a little bit floral forward. So where you're talking about, you know, he's funny, but he's kind of using this comic relief to talk about some of these like darker issues. And with Traminette, it's sweet, but that floralness, you know, it kind of, it balances it out. So lots of like rose, honeysuckle, jasmine with that nice sweet finish.
Right. I like pairing the white, the Treminette with comedy because it's light, right?
Exactly.
It's a light genre. It's comedy. I want to laugh. I don't want anything that's too deep and too dark and too heavy while I'm reading this laughing. So I think that's a really, really good pairing. Right. For the next genre, we're going to talk about suspense and mystery. And the book that we picked is called And Now She's Gone by Rachel Hall.
And I'm pairing this with our Crossroads After Dark.
After Dark, suspense and mystery. I like it. All right, so this book, it talks about and it explores the nature of secrets and what you will do when fear and violence pushes you to survive, and how you will abandon everything just to survive. And so I do believe her name is Isabel. Yeah, Isabel is her name, and she's gone. But is she missing? Or does she just not want to be found? And so this character named Grayson is struggling with, does he try to find someone that doesn't want to be found? So it's a nice little suspense mystery. Yeah.
So with the Crossroads After Dark, this is a dry red, and it's a 50-50 blend of Norton and Chamberson. So this is your dark, mysterious, silky smooth. You know, we call it Crossroads After Dark. You know, this is what happens after the sun goes down. So perfect pairing with a suspense mystery. Just kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat.
I love it. I love it. That sounds amazing. I've had this one too, and it's amazing.
So good. It's so good.
So the last genre we're going to talk about is urban fantasy. My favorite category ever. I love it. And so the book, which I am currently reading, but the book that we're going to discuss today is called Legendborn. And this is by Tracy Dion.
And I'm pairing this with Viognier.
Nice. So just look at this cover. Beautiful. I love it. She's amazing. She's everything. So this is about a teenage girl. Her name is Bree. And she's trying to enroll into her early college program at UNC Chapel Hill, which is her mother's alma mater. But before she goes, her mother just abruptly, she dies. She's killed in an accident. And so she still goes to this early program. And when she gets there, she discovers this whole new world of basically magic. And so she discovers secret societies. They're called the Legendborns, and they are the descendants of King Arthur's knights. And then she discovers Merlins and demons and root crabs and all of these things, and she's just getting into it. And so she dives into this secret society because she feels that they have a hand in her mother's death. And so she's just diving in and trying to discover the truth. And the further she gets, the more she realizes that she may be in a little bit too deep over her head. But she also discovers that she has this magical ability that nobody else has. And so her mother is dead, so nobody is there to guide her into what to do. And it can be very dangerous being in this secret society as well. And so she just keeps digging for the truth. And so she gets to the point where she has to decide if she's going to take down this secret society that may have had something to do with her mother's death, or join in on a magical war that's coming up, the reason why the secret society exists.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It is. I'm not done yet, so I can't tell you how it ends. I'm close. So.
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is also like a genre that I love as well. I just love that like magical, mystical, like otherworldly. Yeah, it's so fun. So that is why I chose our Viognier, because this is an old world Vitis vinifera. So the Viognier grape comes from Europe. This is kind of like a trip back in time. So transports you to another world. It is a dry white wine, but it has some really great like citrus, tart notes to the finish. So it is still pretty light, but super delicious as well. So.
Yeah. So I don't want anything heavy while I'm like magical
and
all this stuff. So I do want something light and otherworldly.
Definitely.
So I think that's a really good pair as well.
Yay.
All right. Well, that wraps up our segment on the perfect wine pairing. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching us and joining us. Thank you, KC Wineworks, for pairing your lovely wines with our books. You can find Bliss Books and Wine on all social medias. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We also have a website, www.blissbooksandwine.com. You can find all of our other social media links on the bio or the comment section down below.
Perfect, and thank you so much for this opportunity. We are so excited to be a part of this event. And you can find all of our wines on our website, kcwineworks.com, and we can link that down below as well.
All right. We also, shameless plug, have some merchandise that we do offer with Bliss Books and Wine as well. And I know that you guys sell merchandise as well.
Yes.
All right. So, shameless plug, like I said, Bliss Books and Wine is offering some merchandise, and you can find us on the website, www.blissbooksandwine.com. But we are offering our glass, our stemless glass, wine glasses. I know it has our little logo on it. It's
like
cute
the perfect
sip.
size.
And so then we also have Bliss to go. We have our little travel tumblers, and they're so cute. I take these everywhere. I just kind of sip and go with that. We are also offering a Bliss bag to go. So what's special about this bag, and here I'll move this over to the side, it's insulated. So if I'm going to go somewhere, I can take 2 bottles.
Oh, I love that.
Right? It's insulated, it can keep them nice and chilled and ready
so
to
cute.
go. And it also does as a book bag. And so I have pockets here in the front and in the back for our books. And it's just so adorable.
I love the little cork details.
The cork detail is
here.
amazing.
Yes.
So these are locally made, and I'll give you the link in the bio as well for the person here in Kansas City who made these bags specifically for Bliss. And so the divider inside also comes out if you don't want to carry wine, which I don't know why you wouldn't. But if you wanted to just carry books, the divider comes out and it could dub as a book bag. And then our last product is this fabulous shirt, a little off the shoulder, a little razzle dazzle here. Our little Bliss shirts here. So you can find all of this merchandise on our website.
Perfect. And we have just a couple things as well. We do have the shirt that I'm wearing here, which is just kind of like a classic t-shirt style. It is unisex, so it comes in all sizes. And then we also have these really nice hoodies, cropped hoodies for fall, and they are so soft.
They are very soft.
They are so soft and so comfortable and so cute. This is my favorite color right now. It's so fun. And then we have these really, really nice locally made keychains that are branded with our name by a local artist. And then we always have kind of some other fun products all made locally here in the tasting room as well.
Well, again, thank you guys for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the book and wine pairing, the perfect pairing. And I hope that you come onto our websites and support your locally owned businesses. Take care.